Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gallic Major and this is a review of the Tech Tree Tier 7 French destroyer Le Fantasque. This is a Tier 7 and legendary game of domination on northern waters. On the enemy team there's a Jervis in the division with two Clevelands, a Tashkent, a Kagaru, an Odin, a Bismarck, an Iowa and a Yamato. So the Jervis has got dragged up due to having divisioned up with two Tier 7s. Now, Le Fantasque is the lead ship of her class, which consisted of 6 large destroyers, which were launched in 1933 to 1934. Le Fantasque started the war hunting German raiders and blockade runners. However, following the occupation of France, she served under the Ventture French Navy, working from Dakar harbour and also taking part in the defence of Dakar. And then following the conversion from Vichy France to Free France. She then served in the Free French Navy and partook in the Allied invasion of occupied southern France. She was later scrapped in 1958. Now, as always, the comparison of the stats will be to the other Tech Tree Tier 7 destroyers. So, survivability, you have above average, but you do have less HP than the Z23 and the Tashkent, and your armour looks pretty average. Artillery wise, we have 5.5 inch guns all mounted along the centre line. We have A turret and B turret super firing at the front. Then we have Q turret, which is rear midships, but for the first time it's actually forwards facing. And then we have X turret super firing over Y turrets at the rear. So we've got a broadside of 5 guns, we've got 2 guns directly up front and 2 guns directly at rear, and we can bring depending on your angles, because again, in comparison to the other French destroyers, she does have to have quite a broad stance in order to bring all her guns to bear. Now we're just capturing the objective, not really racing around at the moment, keeping an eye on a couple of enemy ships which seem to be changing their mind, considering they have 3 friendly battleships turning down on them. Also spotting a smoke screen over there by that Bismarck, so we know we haven't got the divisions, we haven't got the Jervis. This could probably something else. Probably the Kagaru, I guess. So talking about the guns, you have the second largest gun caliber, decent gun count, you've got 5 of them. You have the joint longest range with the Fletcher. You have slow reload, but not the slowest. You are quicker than Z23 and the Kagaru. Now, they have given her what they call the reloaded trait, however, I don't really think you actually are qualified for the reloaded trait due to your actual slow reload. Now, you have a slow turret traverse speed, but you are faster than the Z23 and the Kagaru. And we have the Tashkent. Just trying to think, how would I want to engage that Tashkent? There's too many islands here and too many ships. I might just move up to the next island. Those out. Make sure that we're ready with our reload booster. Now we have a decent HE damage per shell. We have a second best fire chance per shell, and then we have a above average AP damage per shell. But it doesn't really add up too much at the end of the day, unfortunately. You end up having the worst AP DPM, you have a below average HE DPM, and you have a below average fires per minute. So even though you've got some quite impressive guns, they don't actually add up too much at the end of the day, unfortunately. Now, going on to torpedoes, we have 3 triple torpedo launchers. We have 1 mounted on the center line, then we have 1 port and 1 starboard. So what this does mean is that you have a total broadside of 6 torpedoes. So you will have to do what they call the French flip, where you will have to switch it over to obviously bring your other torpedo launcher to bear on the enemy target. Now these torpedoes do have a decent reload per launcher, at second best at the tier. However, you do have the slowest reload time per tube, so it depends what's more important to you there. For me, I like to refer to the torpedo time per tube, however I know that some people do like to refer to the time per launcher. Now, these torpedoes do have the second highest damage per torpedo, but they do have the largest torpedo detectability while being the fastest torpedoes at the tier as well. Just skirting around here, Bismarck looks like it's coming up to Brawl, so I might see if I can just... No, don't worry, Bismarck has gone to the depths of the ocean. So what does this detectability range and actual torpedo speed all add up to at the end of the day? Well, it does mean that enemies will have a slightly above average time to react to incoming torpedoes for the tier. From base, so if you have all your modules but you don't take any of like the concealment modules and you ignore like commander traits and things like that, you are looking at having a pretty the second worst stealth torpedo range. You're looking at a range of about 1.3 kilometers. So obviously that can be improved as you go along, especially through modules and commander inspirations. Maneuverability, she is the fastest, as you're seeing. She's motoring along now, especially with her engine boost on, and she has the second largest turning circle and a slightly worse than average rudder shift. Now you will notice that she does have what they call the agile trait, and again, I don't think she qualifies for the agile trait. She has that worse than average rudder shift, so it's not exactly anything to shout about, unfortunately. So I kind of disagree again with that trait that they've given her. Concealment, she has average concealment across the board. So yeah, she pretty much sits in the middle, which is quite a nice one there. Is that Cleveland's still flooding? I'm going to flood that Cleveland out, aren't I? No, he's stopped the flooding, but he's only got a smidge of health left. Never know, might be able to get some torpedoes out in this Iowa. Well, no, we'll come back to talking about that a bit later. Oh, that Odin's gone. Well, that Cleveland's gone. Going on to the consumables, obviously we have no smoke screens. We do have engine boost, we get 2 of those. This increases your engine speed by 20% for 120 seconds and has a reload time of 180 seconds. This will take your base speed from 42.7 knots up to 51.24 knots during that duration. You also come with a main battery reload booster, and this will obviously reduce your main battery reload time by 50% for 15 seconds. Basically, it should be enough to allow you to get 5 volleys downrange, obviously subject to what abilities and modules you take. Now, if you do somehow decide to use a commander where you get an additional main battery reload booster through using the fully packed legendary ability that you get on cruiser commanders and the base commander, then you should note that this does have a 150-second reload. Now, as always, the commander build and the modules used during this game will be down in the description. However, just to run through the modules, I have taken the main battery mod 2. This basically gives you better turret traverse speed, but also increases your reload time. Then taken propulsion mod 2 for the acceleration. I've then taken Concealment Systems Mod 1. I think this is pretty much a must because it does give you a minus 10% detectability and a plus 5% incoming fire dispersion. However, as you are seeing, I am actually being detected by something over here. Well, I guess we better go have a look at it. Or I might actually see if I can try and get the capture done first. Now, the final module I've taken is the main battery mod 3. The reason why is this gives you a better reload time in comparison to giving you a worse turret traverse speed. However, when you combine main battery mod 3 with main battery mod 2, you are looking at an overall buff to your battery reload time and turret traverse speed. Just getting the capture done before we motor on. We'll probably see if we can hunt the Jervis, but obviously we need to make sure that we do have sufficient protection from the other ships on their team. I am going to have to start opening fire because I'm watching my team die like flies. We have all the capture points, but whether or not we can actually pull a victory off here is going to be questionable. I'm going to use my last engine boost. Now I do have enough health to engage the Jervis if I need to. Just in case the Jervis has made his position in there. Now, one thing I've noted with the torpedo launchers is that your center mounted torpedo launcher does have quite a limited traverse speed, or traverse angle I should say. However, when compared to say the wing mounted ones, like the one that's on the port and starboard side, they actually have quite nice angles. Oh balls. Well, at least I took up all the torpedoes for the friendly Yamato. Oh well. I guess that's always going to happen. I guess it's one of the downsides of not having sonar, and also that slow rudder shift. Maybe a case could be made for having steering gears, but that is only 20%, unfortunately. Well, there goes our Yamato, so I'm sure it won't be too long until the end of the game. I don't see our Odin really pulling it out of the bag, so I guess unfortunately we've managed to clutch defeat from the jaws of victory. So the Le Fantasque, final impressions, really enjoyable ship. I really do like it. It's a great addition. I think I want to do a summary on the French tech tree, but I'll give you my initial impressions. I think I want to give a summary on the French destroyer tech tree, but based on my initial summary, I would say it's a lot better than the Russian tech tree, and I think there might be something here. But I'll give more explanations as to what my thoughts are in hopefully a forthcoming video, which I'm yet to record. But yeah, only 48,000 damage, 2 torpedo hits, so not a lot of torpedo hits there, only the 1 kill, but it was just keeping spotting, keeping the captures up as well, which was quite a crucial thing to do. The only kill being the Tashkent at the start, where I had the main battery reload booster available. Going to the scores, came top of the team, whereas there's a massive disparity on our team. If you're looking at, like, say, our Udachi, which only came in at 433 ship XP, ouch. And their Tashkent, which I absolutely obliterated, only came in at 531 ship XP. Oh wow. And so the ship service cost was 164,000, only due to the rare credit booster would I have been able to walk away with a profit following the ship service cost. However, premium obviously does help and has taken me up to 154,000 credits. So in all, I do enjoy the ship, and the ship modules and the command build will be down in the description, along with our email address should you have any of your own game captures that you'd like to submit for amateur reports or sea trials. If you've enjoyed the video, if you could give it a thumbs up, and if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, I'd like to say thank you very much, guys, for your support and contribution to the channel. Until next time, I'm the Gav Major, and back to the port.